Hi, welcome to an incredible video. Ignore the fact that this was released in April. So the format I'm gonna talk about my 3.5 least favorite albums and then my 10 favorite albums. So, first off, least favorite album, of the year, or I guess not album, EP, 7 Piano Sketches by Andre 3000, who is, in fact, the guy from Outkast, except he's not rapping, he is playing piano, and also it's 7 years old, and also it's not very good because it doesn't sound like he knows how to play piano. Occasionally there'll be like a good chord, I guess, that's something, but most of the time it's just not particularly rhythmic and not particularly harmonic or melodic. And also I don't know the point of it because he released a highly acclaimed jazz album, like 2 to 3 years ago, which has to be like, actually have melody. Okay, worst album that's actually full length album is Jack Boys 2 by Travis Scott and the Jack Boys. Once again, another widely panned album, where Travis Scott does nothing. The production is generally pretty bland, which, when Travis is most known for his production, is pretty big issue. Nobody else really does anything. And also it has that one part that goes, which is very funny, but unfortunately doesn't make it any good. And then second worst album of the year, we're going with another pop rap album. I promise it's not something that I'm necessarily opposed to, but Some Sexy Songs for You, which is one of the album names ever, by Drake, and also allegedly Party Next Door is on the album, even though he isn't on it that much. I think Snoop Dogg is on The Chronic more. Either way, neither of them are presents. I don't know why Drake decided to make, the, like, love-focused album, after, one, the allegations, and two, everything else, I guess. Similar to Travis, and Jack Boys, the album also doesn't really have many up-tempo moments. The one exception is Nokia, which also isn't good because it's annoying, in my opinion. And then, now we're gonna go on the other end of popularity. Sahel Dreams by Black Cray under the pseudonym Sick Boy Rory. Now, you've probably not heard of Black Cray, but he is an acclaimed, like, experimental hip-hop and cloud rapper. But he's just smothered in vocal effects such that it makes the album just generally a slog to listen to. In general, I think the takeaway, which is what I guess I have for all the albums that I disliked, which is more than just those four, is, well, I guess three. 7 Piano Sketches kind of has its own issues, is they generally blend together. They're very mushy. Okay, now here's the 10 best, in my opinion. So number 10, Forever How Long by Black Country New Road. So this album comes a few years after the departure of the band's former frontman, Isaac Wood. And I was really unsure how they would follow up his departure, given how much his vocals and lyrics were tied with the band. But they really were able to do something new and something special. It completes the folk pivot that the band had been going through on the past 3 albums. They're still very theatrical, as they have been. We get some real story songs, Two Horses, Nancy Tries to Take the Night. It remains the same great instrumentation, with saxophone, violin, and Happy Birthday is not a cover of the classic song. It's a very good rock song. Generally, I'd say another great album for what's probably been my favorite band of the decade with their 3 albums. Number 9, SX Honey by Blood Orange. It's a blend of folk, R&B, and string orchestration really gives the album a unique vibe and texture that runs through. Another thing that makes the album feel really unique is how at the end of all of the songs, there's like a 20-second micro song that's completely different. I mean, still in the same style, which really adds the sense of like kind of cohesion, kind of splitting apart. The album's really influenced the idea of like going back home, looking over old memories, but it doesn't necessarily feel captured in nostalgia like so many other pieces, I guess, would be. Check out The Train and Somewhere in Between for songs. So then number 8 is The Mocking Stars by Les the Cat. Very chill jazz rap. There's some nice live instrumentation. And it's also a concept album about a cat who doesn't want to get a job. Which is pretty funny, because there's a song called I Don't Want to Get a Job, and the chorus is just him repeating, I don't want to get a job. Yeah, great for unemployed people. It's a very relaxing album. Yeah, very lovely instrumentation. Sounds really good. Then for number 7, The Sky, the Earth, and All Between by Architects. Architects are a pop metal band who have been around for a while. And this album I really enjoyed for the vocals specifically. There's a lot of screaming, a lot of growling, a lot of really good singing, and the fact that the frontman was able to go between them all so quickly is incredible. I mean, I've heard really nothing that's like this good in the vocals department, like the range. Yeah, check out Everything Ends or the opener Elegy. Number 6 is This Won't Be the Last Time by Cloudy Sky. Now this is a great noise pop album, so it's got heavy distortion on the guitars, but all of the melodies are great. It's just a big album. It feels big with all of the distortion, all of the, like, yeah, the guitars, even though there's not actually too much going on in a good way. Check out Bones and Float for some great songwriting, and Home for the big guitar explosion at the end. Number 5 is Hagen by Titanic. Now, despite the name, they're actually a Mexican band. Once again, we've got some great orchestration, though unlike the Blood Orange album, this one can get a little more experimental, especially with some of the jackhammer drums on Gotera, which is my favorite song on the album. Once again, more great experimental pop songwriting. Then we go to number 4, Pink Pantheress. Now we're out of the experimental pop lane and into the very normal pop. Yeah, I'm not above this album. It's very fun. And it's very short, only 20 minutes long, and flows really nicely together, which is something great about it. Now, for number 3, I have After EP and After EP2. Now, if the title doesn't make it obvious, these are extended plays, which means that they're 2, 20-minute pieces rather than one 40-minute piece, but because they're released in quick succession, I decided to put them together, and after I had listened to them, I knew that they were going to be some of my favorites, because of the brightness that's generally on display. There are some touches of darkness. They're heavily indebted to 90s pop rock and trip hop, which the two of them combined to create this great feeling, very nostalgic. I like the grunge style that you can hear on Baroque, and then the more, pop electronica on something like 300 Dreams. Also, Pitchfork really hates this album, so that's pretty cool. Number 2, I have Vanisher Horizon Scraper by Quadeca. Now, this album is, once again, has its orchestral moments. I really do enjoy when people put violins, or in this case, you've got some like clarinets, which are pretty cool. In general, it's got this very wild experimental atmosphere, but it all works together because it's based on the idea of like it's nautical, also somewhat of a concept album about a man who is going on the ocean. Eventually fights a sea monster played by Danny Brown on a great song, the Great Bacchanal. Also has Monday, which is a phenomenal song, great string parts. Feels like, yeah, some great classical piece that's always existed. And then finally, number 1, Lotus by Little Sims. So this album has a bit of backstory in that her past few albums have been produced by this guy called Inflow, very like well-respected producer, and then he allegedly took out a loan from her and has not given back any of the money. So this album exists first as a like album-like statement, like a diss against him, but also is about Sims's own sense of like self-discovery and trying to free herself and figure out where her life goes after it, which is, yeah, really good like premise. You really feel her own life in the music, especially like the title track. Very good. It's also very like bass focused. There's really good electric bass parts on this. In general, like all of the albums I have in my top 10 sound very good because that's one of the things that I care about. Yeah, so that's the list. I tried to shout out specific songs. In general, all of the albums that are in the top are good, are very consistent. At least like 75% of the songs are good. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I know that this video isn't great, so any feedback would be appreciated.